What's up, good people? Crawford did. Crawford did. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't think he was gonna whoop it. So real quick before I get into this content, first, my page got struck. I apologize to all Glorilla fans. I wasn't trying to. She's pretty to me. She's a nice looking young lady. My title was wrong. So I had a young thug. This is Glorilla. I should have put the L for glow. So they striped my page, but it's been up since the 4th. I had over 8,000 views from that. So numbers don't lie. Men lie, women lie. Numbers don't lie. And my bitch was going up. But I'm appealing. But to her fans and her personally, I don't have no gripe, no shade, no nothing. But these reaction videos, it's for you, your nephews, your brother, your cousin. I can't talk about none that I don't know nothing about. I never do that. So if I'm speaking on some shit, I've been through that shit. Get them kids off the street, Joe. Catch them when they're young, Joe. Cause this shit here ain't look, you be dry stitching, put all your business on the internet. I'll just give you the do's and the don'ts. Taylor life is bad in itself, but it's out of hand. Me growing up, women and children, grandfathers and grandparents was off limits. I don't give a fuck. You got crew of niggas. There's 20 of y'all. 3 coming to court, maybe for you. 2 sending you money. Out there. That's about 90 days to a year. They got their own problems. You're gonna deal with your own problems. So you did, Joe. You gotta get on here and tell all you did. But I ain't finna keep talking, Joe. All these videos be for the don't group. Stay out of it. Get back on the porch. You gonna die. You going to jail.
Birmingham, Alabama is a hotbed for murder. According to USAFacts.org, Birmingham has had the 5th highest murder rate in America over the years, and the subject of today's video was a major reason why. As most of you know, we frequently cover drill rappers on this channel, and it seems more and more often that these drill rappers aren't really rappers. They're damn near serial killers that just rap on the side. The subject of today's video is no different. The subject of today's video is alleged to have committed at least 6 murders.
Shorties, this was not the dude, Joe.
Hire, all by the age of just 19. On one of his
Stay on the porch.
he allegedly shot up his target, noticed they survived, then in truly evil fashion, followed their car to the emergency room and shot at them again as they entered the car. The subject of today's video is none other than White Boy Spin, and today we're going to be telling his story. But before we get into the video, please be sure to like and subscribe. White Boy.
With Google Workspace, You can create a Gmail account with your own domain and branding, helping your business look professional in any inbox. That's business email.
Boy Spin, real name Nigel Riddick Roberson, was a rapper and gang member from Birmingham, Alabama. He was a member of a violent street gang called 420. 420 has built up a reputation for being filled with killers, so as you can imagine, they've made plenty of enemies over the years. They primarily beef with the gangs M6, H2K, standing for Hard to Kill, 3100, and TSMG, who also go by the name Ray World to honor a deceased member named Ray Ray, who was killed at just 14 years old in 2017. White Boy got involved in the street life at a very young age and quickly built a reputation in the streets for being a cold-blooded killer. He was considered one of the top shooters in his gang and was the main one to take initiative whenever they wanted someone killed. White Boy would frequently go on hits with another rapper / 420 member named 41st AJ. In fact, in a Facebook Live, White Boy's sister openly brags about how White Boy and AJ were steppers in the streets and their names are ringing bells with detectives.
Hold up. That hoe said White Boy ain't nobody. Come on now. The detectives know about White Boy. The detectives know about him. The detectives even know about him. On my mom, they know about him. They know, on my mom, the detectives know about AJ and White Boy. On Jesus, on God. You know what I'm saying? On God. I swear to God. The detective know about these boys. On Jesus Christ, I swear to God. The detective know about these boys. They know they were stepping on shit real bad. They said that. They said that. Come on, man. Get out of there. Get out of there, please.
White Boy's name was frequently linked to murders and attempted murders. Rumors in the streets linked him to the deaths of a man named Coop from Bessemer, Alabama, and the death of a TSMG member named PJ/PZ. A 420 member named Man Man was the one charged with Coop's murder, but it's rumored that White Boy was involved as well. White Boy wouldn't stop there and would soon be allegedly involved in the death of one of his biggest ops. One of TSMG's main shooters was a man named Trigger, real name Davion Hickley. He was allegedly involved in multiple shootings that targeted members of 420. On April 25, 2022, Trigger was in the parking lot of a Shell gas station in the 800 block of 3rd Avenue when multiple gunmen pulled up and opened fire. Trigger was shot multiple times and was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead at just 19 years old. White Boy Spin and 41st AJ are rumored to have been the gunmen in this incident, and they released multiple songs pretty much openly confessing to this murder. Also, White Boy pretty much blatantly confessed to it on Instagram Live.
Fuck the trigger, everybody know he got faced by AJ.
Look, he in his head. Trigger ain't dead, but I think he dead. Only one put a little bitch in his bed. Only one hop out the car that foot trying to rob me. I'll turn the bitch to a thread.
We call the outlet and brain right with third.
Hey, hold on. They say story time on Trigger.
Story time on Trigger. Get his ass.
Story
Get
time
up with
on
that.
Trigger.
Get it.
Alright, I'm gonna say a story time on Trigger. Gonna be real short. Once upon a time, it was a nigga named White Boy, but he go by Top. And there was a nigga named Trigger that threatened me with a Glock. I took his ass little Top, and shit, it was just over with. Shit, it was just over with.
Just 2 days after allegedly killing Trigger, White Boy and 420 would take a massive loss of their own. On April 27, 2022, a 420 member named 23, renamed LaCameron Daru, was riding in a vehicle on the 901 Bankhead Highway when another car pulled up beside him and someone inside opened fire, riddling his car with bullets. 23 was shot multiple times and responding officers pronounced him dead at the scene at just 22 years old. Another person was in the car with 23 and they were shot as well, but they survived their injuries after being taken to UAB Hospital. It's rumored that members of TSMG were responsible for this murder. They hinted in songs that it was Get Back for Trigger. Unfortunately for 420, the losses wouldn't stop there, as a little under 4 months later, White Boy would lose his best friend. On August 12, 2022, 41st AJ, real name Alfred Jenkins, was standing in the doorway of a gas station in the 4000 block of Messer Airport Highway when he was ambushed by 4 to 5 shooters. Dozens of shots were fired, and AJ was struck numerous times. He was taken to UAB Hospital, where he was pronounced dead at just the age of 18. AJ was allegedly killed by members of the gang H2K. Prior to his death, they had been dissing each other back and forth on social media, and various members had shot at each other. This loss devastated White Boy, and he posted a tribute to AJ on his social media. AJ's death would make White Boy even more eager to kill his enemies. AJ was one of White Boy's closest friends and a beloved member of 420. Losing him made White Boy and 420 hungry to kill any member of H2K they could find, no matter the circumstance. On September 2nd, 2022, an H2K member named Bobo, renamed DeMarcus Moss, was driving in a car with 2 of his 4 children in the 800 block of Arkadelphia Road when his car was shot up. Bobo was hit multiple times but continued to drive, making it almost to Interstate 59/20 before he collided with another vehicle in the 1000 block of Arkadelphia Road. Officers arrived on the scene and rushed him to UAB Hospital, where he was pronounced dead at just 22 years old. White Boy was allegedly one of the people responsible for this murder. On December 2nd, 2022, an H2K member named Slime, renamed Cornelius May Jr., was in a vehicle near a Chevron gas station on Finley Boulevard when gunmen pulled up and shot up the car he was in. After being hit, the car Slime was in crashed into a tree. The Birmingham Police Department eventually arrived and pronounced Slime dead on the scene at just the age of 20. It is widely rumored that White Boy was allegedly one of the gunmen in this incident. White Boy would go on Instagram Live and mock both Bobo and Slime's deaths.
Slime got his ass chased across the train tracks. Bobo got ran off of Arkadelphia. Bobo got ran off of Arkadelphia with his baby in the car.
Aside from targeting his main ops, White Boy would allegedly also participate in murder for hire. White Boy had a close relationship with another Alabama rapper named Landlord Low. Low would allegedly pay White Boy to take out people for him. An Alabama rapper named Cash Cow Breezy, also known by the name Breon, allegedly shot a friend of Landlord Low, so Low placed a bounty on his head. White Boy went to collect it. On May 21st, 2023, Breon was in the parking garage of the Cortland Vesta apartment complex when a gunman pulled up and shot him. Birmingham Fire and Rescue arrived and pronounced Breon dead at just the age of 27. White Boy pretty much openly confessed to committing this murder in his songs. Following this incident, White Boy would allegedly do another murder for hire. Following the death of Breon, White Boy would allegedly continue taking paid hits for Landlord Low. On September 4, 2023, White Boy allegedly went on a mission to kill a man that Landlord Low placed a bounty on. The target was at the Aria Restaurant and Lounge on 5th Avenue North when gunfire erupted. The target was hit, but so were 2 innocent women named Markesia Atkins and Chavada Willis. The target was able to drive himself and the woman to the UAB hospital emergency room. However, they were followed. Once they arrived, 2 suspects reportedly opened fire on them while they were in their vehicle outside the hospital, causing the ER to temporarily be locked down. Gunfire also hit an SUV that belonged to UAB police, and it hit a hospital emergency room door. The suspects then fled the scene. UAB hospital staff pronounced Markesia dead at just the age of 24 and Chavada dead at just the age of 33. The target survived his injuries. White Boy Spin was allegedly one of the gunmen in this incident. Eventually, all of the noise White Boy was making in the streets would catch up to him. Prior to his death, a $100,000 bounty was allegedly placed on White Boy Spin's head. White Boy would brag about this and taunt his enemies to come collect it. His name was ringing so many bells in the streets that his enemies were desperate to take him out. On December 2nd, 2023, White Boy Spin was riding in the passenger seat of a vehicle in the 900 block of 5th Avenue North when multiple gunmen fired at least 17 rounds into his vehicle. White Boy was struck numerous times and was rushed to UAB hospital. He would succumb to his injuries and was officially pronounced dead at just the age of 19. Members of 3100 were allegedly responsible for White Boy's death, but members of H2K also claimed responsibility. Man, it's sad to see all this death and destruction that started over pretty much